Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we will understand how the control flow works in Java, how we can use them to make effective decision. We will see detailed explanation of all the statements and loops from scratch. If you are new here, welcome and hit that subscribe button and notification bell for future updates. Also, before proceeding, make sure you have watched previous video of this Java series from basic. So let's start with today's topic, Java control flow. So generally the statement inside your Java code are executed from top to bottom. In order that they appear, control flow statements change or break the flow of execution by implementing different decision making, looping or branching your program to execute particular block of code based on the condition. So this is the basic working of a Java control statement. So there are basically three type of control flow statements supported by Java programming language: decision making statement, looping statement and branching statement. We will go through each of them in detail one by one. So now guys, let's see, when it comes to decision making, there is very interesting part in Java. There is nothing but if. The dictionary meaning of if is confusion or possibility. Like if this happened, then that is the outcome, or if that happened, then this is the outcome, and so on. That means if implies ambiguous situation, and definitely it also helps to get out of that ambiguous situation. So using if clause, you can make decision based on scenario. So in if statement, we test a condition. If the condition is true, code inside if block will be executed. If the condition is false, the code outside the if block will be ignored. The braces act as scope of if statement. So the syntax for if statement is as shown here. Using if, you give condition and then depending upon that your statement will be executed. Let's see this with taking some example. In the following example, if the value of int x equals to 5, then statement inside if block will be executed. Output you will get is x equal to 5 because the condition satisfied. Now let's take another example to see what if condition is false. If the condition is false, then statement inside if block will be ignored and code outside the scope of if block will be executed. So here the output will be what happened as the condition is false. Now the next one we have in decision making is if else. This is somewhat similar to if, having one exception. In here, an if statement can be followed by an optional else statement which executes when the Boolean expression is false. So let's see by taking some example. So in here, if block would be executed if the condition is true, that is if is x is equal to 5. Here, if block would be executed when the condition is true, that is if x is equal to 5. Otherwise, else block will be executed when the condition is false, that is value of x is greater than 5, which will execute the else block. The output you get is x is not equal to 5. Let's move to another decision making statement. That is switch case. Switch case statement in Java is the conditional statement which executes one statement out of many statements when the condition is matched. Default statement is also given to execute when none of the condition is matched. So before this we worked on only one or two statements based on condition. Here in switch case we work on multiple statements. So syntax is as shown. We will understand it in detail using example. So here switch case always works on condition. So here condition is int x equal to 3 where we execute the program. Condition matches with x equal to 3, that is case 3. So the output is the value of x is 3, the value of x is other than 1, 2, 3. Surprised with the output? So here is a catch. That statement after the matched condition will also execute. Why? To get rid of this condition, switch case is always used with break statement. Now you can note here that this is the most frequent question interviewer asks, that what output you will get if you skip the break statement. So you can answer and remember this, that all the statements will get executed if you don't use break. That is the condition matched and the default one. Now first understand what exactly is break statement. The break statement is used to come out of the program flow. The line at which program finds the break statement, it comes out of the execution flow and ignores the rest cases. Okay, so it is optional to use break statement after the default statement, but it is recommended. For example, with the use of break statement, the program will come out of flow after the matched case is executed. Here x equal to 3 is checked, so third statement is matched and we get output as value of x is 3. Okay. Now know this, that it is not necessary to write case statements in sequence. Only int, char, string and enum are allowed as switch expression. These are very important point. Note it down. Now in the following example we will see the use of characters in switch case. Okay, so we write a in lowercase as a condition for switch case. As you can see, it will go through statement first. Statements matches, it will give output that x is a. Now let's see by changing the value as capital A. Now none of the case statements matches the criteria. In such cases, default statement is executed. That is, you will get output as the value of x is other than ABC, since none of the cases matches. So remember that in programming, lowercase and uppercase characters are evaluated differently. So in example, we will see how to condition to get rid of such situation. So here to solve that thing, we are using two case statement, one for lowercase and other one is for uppercase. Okay, so now let's move forward to the looping statements. In a programming language, loop means repeating the execution to the instruction or instruction block with respect to the condition specified by the programmer. So the different types of loops we have in Java are while loop, for loop, do while loop. We will see each of them in detail in further part. So for now, let's start with for loop. In Java, for loop is used to iterate a part of statement multiple times until a particular condition is satisfied. The basic syntax is for, initialization, condition, increment or decrement. Now what are those? These are the basic structure of for loop. In the basic structure of for loop, there are three parts. Initialization of variable. What it does is, it initializes the variable which starts the loop. It does not matter how many iterations are present. It executed only once at the beginning of for loop. Next one is condition. It is used for testing the exit condition and return the boolean value true or false. If the condition is true, the body is executed, else the loop terminates without executing the statement loop body. The condition in the loop doesn't have any restrictions. We can use any condition and any number of comparisons. So the third one is variable increment or decrement. The increase and decrease part of loop is used for updating the variable for next iteration. It can be pre-increment or post-increment. Note this one thing, all of the above is an optional component for loop. Now the following program will demonstrate the syntax of for loop. In this program, int I equal to 1 is initialization value, and as you can see, I less than equal to 10 is the condition and I plus plus is the increment operator. Now let's see another example. In this program, int I equal to 10 is initialization value and I greater than equal to 10 is condition and I minus minus is decrement operator. Now we will see infinite loop. Now what is that? Infinite for loop is a set of code which repeat itself unless it is forced to stop. As you can see in the example. Now let's move forward to while loop. While loop in Java is a structure which executes a statement of code multiple times until the Boolean expression is false. In while loop, Boolean expression is evaluated before the execution of code. That means if the Boolean expression is evaluated as true, then only the execution of code starts. And if the expression is evaluated as false, block of code inside while loop will not be executed. Now let's see and understand this clearly with example. Now here, initialize the loop counter I with value 1. In the while condition, check whether it is less than or equal to 10. It will print the number in the new line, and I++ increment the counter by 1. It will print the number repeatedly unless counter becomes greater than 10. The syntax as you can see for while loop. Now let's take another example. Here also we will see example for infinite loop. In the following example, the Boolean expression that is evaluated before each loop iteration is never modified. So the expression true will always evaluate true. The result is the loop will never end. It is known as an infinite loop in while loop. In programming language, the break is used in determining the loop immediately after it is encountered. So here is how we can use the break statement. Demonstration of break statement is as given. Now this can be your interview question, like difference between for loop and while loop. So in for loop, it is used when we know the exact number of iteration. For example, when we are sure that how many times we need to execute a loop. While loop is used when we are unsure about the number of iteration and want to loop while some condition is true. It will loop that block until the condition is false. Okay. So now let's move forward to do while. Java allows you to create a do while loop which likes almost similar to a while loop. It is a structure of repetition control with a termination condition and statements or block of statement. So the difference between while loop and do while loop is, in Java, while loop, the expression is evaluated at the beginning of loop, and if the expression is evaluated as true, then the only statement inside the while loop will be executed. So while loop execute the code block only when the expression is true. In Java, do while loop, the expression is evaluated at the end of loop. So even if the expression returns false, statement inside the code block will be executed at least once. So this is the basic structure of do while loop. In syntax, please note this, that you observe the semicolon at the end of while loop conditions parenthesis. Now let's see with example. Take a look at the result of following statements. In this statement, the value of I is initialized to 0. Now, do block prints the value of I, then it increments the I by 1 and value will become 1. Then it checks for the condition 1 is less than equal to 2, which is true, and prints the value of I equal to 1. It will print repeatedly until condition 11 less than equal to 10 will become false, causing the loop to terminate. In the next example, Java will execute the block first and then check the loop conditional expression. Although the loop exists immediately and statement block will be executed once the program output 11. Okay. So important points to note here is, use while loop when loop might not be executed at all. Also, use do while loop when loop is executed at least once. These 2 points will help you in future programming. Now the last one we will discuss is nested loop. A nested loop is loop within a loop. That means an inner loop within the body of an outer one. In this, we will learn the syntax for nested loop and understand the example. So, in this program, the inner loop and the outer loop are initialized to 1. The outer loop's condition is I less than equal to 3, whereas for inner loop is j less than equal to 3. Here, outer loop iterates 3 times, and for each iteration of the outer loop, the inner loop executes 3 times. Okay, so now let's understand this more clearly by solving one exercise. Now you know the basic concept of for loop, so I guess you should try once by pausing this video. So the question is, write a Java program to create a following pattern, that is triangle pattern, as you can see here. I urge you guys to pause this video and try solving it. The solution for this exercise is, in this program we write a Java program to print triangle pattern. We print symbol @ in a line as well as a new line to generate a triangle program. To generate this pattern, we need 2 different loops for rows and column. First is for printing each line and inner loops for printing pattern in each line. The outer loop will handle the number of rows and the inner loop will handle the number of columns. That's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful anyway, please like this video, comment down your thoughts and doubts. I would love to answer them. See you in the next video. Keep learning.